I have Josh Allen in one league. I have him playing tonight, and I have Waddle playing tonight. And I
know you're playing against me.
Which one?
Beer Club. You have Waddle. You're playing against me in Waddle.
Too? Okay.
Yeah, you're playing against me because I have Monsert, whatever his name is, but he's hurt, so I had to bench him. Monsert. How do you say his name? Mostert. Yeah, he's hurt, so I had to bench him. And then I'm playing. Yeah, and then I'm playing against I'm playing against Tyreek Hill in one league, and then I think I have you, and then I'm playing against you. I'm playing Waddle, yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got Cook in one league. I know he got one touchdown already. For those keeping score at home, it is Bills 10, Dolphins 7.
Oh, did you laugh when
it looks like they're just, what is this? The who just kicked off? The Dolphins just got the ball back. So
did you
10-7 Bills.
Did you laugh when I messaged you and I said I too have Jalen Reed on my bench?
Yeah, that was funny.
33 points on my bench.
I mean, I'm probably still keeping him on my bench because I don't even know what Jordan Love is doing anymore.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not just smart, they heal Mars. They're not just smart, they heal Mars. They're not just smart, they heal Mars. They're not just smart, they heal Mars.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends, we are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma and the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. I am Brady. She is Danielle. We are the best friends in all the land. We are the Heel Marks, and this is everybody's favorite Ring of Honor post show. This is Mark of Honor, the place where we gather to talk about what we just watched, which of course is Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Yep, that's it. That's what we watched.
That's right.
2 hours of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I believe we had 13 matches total, which I think last week we had either 13 or 14, something like that. So this is becoming the norm.
Yep. I mean, I wish there just was more storytelling.
I mean, it's a lot of matches for matches' sake. This week, more than any week in recent memory, we had way more like just local talent matches.
Right.
Enhancement talent matches, a lot of matches where the talent didn't get entrances because they were local enhancement talent.
Right.
So when you're getting 14 matches or 13 matches, and like more than half of them fit into that category, when the matches that you get entrances for both people are a minority and like a big time minority, that's where you start being like, okay, you could have, and this is a taped show now, like these are tapings, so you don't need to give us all these matches just because it's on the same taping. You guys haven't done that in the past, so you could easily take 2 of these matches and put it on to next week's if maybe you don't have as many enhancement talent matches. You know, there's ways to play with it.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's just frustrating to watch.
But we did get great matches though.
We did. I was like, I'm not mad at any of these matches. I mean, besides some of the local
and a lot of the enhancement talent I did actually enjoy seeing too. So like, once again, it's not a complaint in the content of what we're getting. I think they're giving us so much and not enough at the same exact time.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
But they did start off in a familiar way. They gave us a proving ground match with someone we haven't seen a lot of, our TV champion. Atlantis Jr. makes his return to Ring of Honor television, and as well as Pretty Peter Avalon. Have not seen him in a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen him.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know. I think the last time I saw him, he still had long hair, or like, you know, that full head. Now he's since gotten a much shorter cut now.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Since,
I don't remember.
Since I think the last time I saw him.
Yeah, I don't really remember. That's how long it's been, because I don't remember either.
Right, but it was nice seeing him again, and because we haven't seen him in a while, I think Proven Ground is 100% appropriate. No reason to rush him into a title match. So I think this was fun, seeing him with a high-stakes matchup. Atlantis Jr. gets to remind us that he is the TV champion, and this is why, with an impressive victory to start the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this match too. I'm bummed that Atlantis Jr. is champ, because I feel like, I mean, I'm just bummed that we don't see our champions. That's the most annoying thing for me.
I mean, and just so it's been rare for us to see him. Also, we didn't really, our introduction to him was literally them giving him a backstage interview segment,
right?
Calling out Kyle Fletcher and telling him to go into Mexico to fight him. Like, I don't just want to face you for your title, but I want you to come to Mexico and face me in my company. And so we just laughed at it. We're like, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. 100%. Really not taking it seriously at all. That would somehow be the end of what we were watching. Kyle Fletcher had a great run. What a great run as a champion. Was one of the most protected people on the show. Probably Athena was the only one more protected than him.
And then just not protected.
Yeah. And then we've seen Atlantis Jr. maybe like 3-4 times, maybe one title defense. We don't really hear from him. Like, that was the last time I think we ever heard from him. So it's just they haven't done a good job of really introducing him as far as Ring of Honor television is concerned, keeping him relevant and keeping the championship relevant. Right. Or at the very least, if you remember back when All Ego Ethan Page was here at Ring of Honor, so long ago now, I know what it is to think about. But when he was keeping the feud with the TV championship going, Kyle Fletcher wasn't able to like come back to the country or something like that. Remember, he was gone for a little while, and so Ethan Page is calling out the champion, saying, "Hey, I want to be champion," and we don't have anybody doing that. We don't have anybody doing that anymore. Right?
It's so very weird. We don't have anybody doing anything.
Like that. Well, that's just another thing where it's like you have a TV champion, whether he's there or not, somebody should, even if it's after winning a match, when they pull the camera over and they say, "Hey, come here. This waist is gonna have some gold on it soon." You know, so I think we need more of that.
Definitely. It just gets a little weird, and it frustrates me.
For example, when we saw Queen Aminata, and then when we saw her get a good win over Harley Cameron.
All I kept thinking during this match was why isn't Harley facing Rachel? Why is she facing Queen Aminata?
Well, because they're continuing the feud. They're continuing the story.
Yeah, but you can have a match and have a feud.
You are so anxious. With Ring of Honor never takes time to get to something. They always rush to the match. I love this. Queen Aminata, because the truth is we've only seen No. Let's talk about this match first, and then we'll talk about what happens. So Queen Aminata, great match with Harley Cameron. I did enjoy this. And this is probably the longest match I've seen from Harley Cameron. And so I thought these two worked well together, and I enjoyed what I saw. After the match, to the point I was making, they immediately start talking. Queen Aminata brings the camera over, and she's like, one and only. You know, she does what she does after every win. Talks about how she is the one and only queen, but commentary put over. Queen Aminata, Athena's going to have to run far because Queen Aminata is still here for it, even though Athena had already mentioned prior, like, she's done with Queen Aminata. So the way, you know, this is a simple match for Queen Aminata. She comes in, she does her thing, she wins, but that still somehow advances her as far as our rankings go, in terms of we can expect to see her challenge the Athena. She's not gone yet. So I think that's what we need for more singles victories as we get from people on the show, and we'll talk about them, but we don't really hear anyone saying Atlantis Jr. needs to watch out. You know, Mark Briscoe needs to watch out. We don't get enough of that, which could put people over. especially if you talk about it during the match. Now, to what you mentioned about Harley Cameron and Rachel Ellering, I loved the fact that this is the first time we've seen Harley Cameron lose since she kind of started trash talking Rachel. So what does Rachel do? She finally gives it right back to Harley. Harley Cameron's having an interview. She looks distraught. She's asked how are you moving forward from this loss, and doesn't even get a second to breathe before Rachel is in here with all smiles. Oh, did you have a match? How'd it go?
Yeah. I like that. I just thought it was very weird that she was facing Queen Aminata and not just facing Rachel.
Well, I mean, that's what I loved about it. We haven't seen Harley Cameron really face quote unquote real competition. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, it's always been enhancement talents we've seen her defeat. Right. This is the first time she got someone of name value in Ring of Honor. She got herself a former number one contender in Queen Aminata. So this is perfect, because she's had a big mouth up until she finally got put in her place, and Rachel Ellering is quick to remind her, hey, this is Ring of Honor. Also, we don't really know where this is going. This might somehow lead to a tag team, Danielle. Like I enjoy that it's very up in the air, and I'm not in any rush. I think it could. They haven't swung on each other yet. At this point, it's kind of just a rivalry, a friendly competition as of now. Also, I could see them maybe, I don't know when their next pay-per-view is, but maybe they actually want to build to having a non-title women's feud go at the pay-per-view, and this could be that.
Maybe. I don't know. I just felt like it was a little off. But, I mean, you're making sense.
It could be.
I want to have faith in ROH, but I never do.
I have noticed that. I mean, listen, we did get an advancement in a story we saw develop last week with Diamante and our women's TV champion, Red Velvet, where
that backstage segment was great.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's exactly what we wanted. We didn't want them to rush right to a match. We didn't want it to just be a 1 week thing. We wanted to hear from them. We wanted to hear Diamante's frustrations. We wanted to hear Red Velvet explain why she did what she did.
I also find it very interesting. I know Lexi's one of the minions, but I find it very weird for being a backstage commentator. She talks so much shit, which I love. It's just very unusual to see normally with backstage, because they usually remain neutral, where she's like, oh, how does it feel to be in possession of what Billie's title? And she's like, oh no, this is my championship. She's like, the mean girl era is over.
Did you see her side-eyeing everything she was saying the entire segment?
I love it. It's super fun. It was just very, you're not used to that.
You're right.
Used to that being neutral.
And Lexi's been with Athena for pretty much almost the entire title reign, I believe, ever since this Minions was created. And you're right. She, for the most part, has kind of remained neutral in this professional capacity. However, and we can get to the emergency MEM that was called, but because of the fact that Lexi is getting invoked in Athena's and Billie's story more, that Lexi is being built up to be her number one minion.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Lexi does. I don't know if it's Athena's call, if it's somebody in creative's call, or if it's Lexi's call. But the truth is, it is kind of required right now that Lexi would be doing a little bit of extra, especially in these moments with somebody like Red Velvet, who challenges everything that Athena and the Minions stand for.
Oh yeah, I love her. I think she's fantastic.
James Cook with another touchdown. Let's go.
You're not against me, so I don't care.
Right. No, this is a completely different.
If you were like Waddle touchdown, I'd be like, shut up.
Right. No, that would be rude. I'd be
like,
but
shush.
No, this is
Yeah.
all about the league. I got my brother-in-law and my godfather. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't mind our little
family
competition during fantasy.
Yeah.
I just realized both my fantasy leagues I'm in with you. Like I'm gonna face you at one point, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah.
A lot of points. I mean, we're a lot of points.
We're not in the same division this year, thank God.
Thank the heavens.
But
yeah, I did enjoy Diamante, the fire she showed.
Oh yeah, I love
Diamante. You shouldn't get in my business. You being Captain Save-A-Ho over here, you shouldn't get in my business. You're gonna find out what happens. And like, I do enjoy that Red Velvet's not showing any fear. She did walk right into her business, trying to make a statement. I'm champ now. So no, everything has to change now, and people need to learn that. So I like this. I do think that I do hope they don't just go right into the match. Like, I'd like to see Red Velvet have a match, defeat someone, maybe a proving ground match, and then let Diamante attack her, or even just, come out. But let's still slow burn. Let's slow.
Yeah, we can slow burn for this. This is okay. I love Diamante so much.
The thing I thought interesting about the getting to the emergency minions empowerment meeting that was called.
Yeah.
What I did find interesting at first was that Billie was the one that called it, which just kind of caught me off guard. I assumed Athena would have called it. I was surprised Athena was letting Billie call it. And then as Athena's talking about, oh, you're right, we should promote Lexi, we should do this, we should do that. It was weird only because Athena was saying we. So to me, I'm kind of like, it's not really like Billie should be so insulted. She is saying we should do this. But then I'm like looking at Billie's t-shirt that says Minion in Training. And so I'm like, okay, wait, no, she is still below.
Right.
And then Billie finally gets some fire out and lets out her frustrations. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Athena comes right back.
We were going into private practice together.
A part of me thinks that Athena's trying to get Billie to wake up, like that she does expect more, that she does look at her as an equal, but she has to go and get her title back for me to look at her like a
really
equal.
I think
but then
she
a part
just
of me
doesn't
is like,
care about her.
Well, no, there's flashes of that where like part of me thinks that, and then a part of me is like, oh wait, no, Athena's just really disrespected, because like the whole snitches get stitches part is kind of like still acknowledging, so she's telling the truth. She's just saying, listen, like I did it. It wasn't her.
Yeah, I just like that she was like, snitches get stitches, and I was like, wow. I was like, Billie's calling her out and saying all the stuff she did, and she's like, I don't care. She's like, I don't care what you did. She's like, she's gonna be number one bestie.
Watch the footage. Are you trying to snitch?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, Billie. I did like this backstage segment a lot. This is a nice slow burn of like Billie slowly losing her mind. Billie reminds me of Gretchen Wiener in Mean Girls, and Athena is Regina George, and she just wants to be loved so bad that she's like, I'm the one who did this.
Right.
Regina cheats on Aaron. I never told anyone because I'm such a good friend.
And I'd like to see this, like, because I don't want to see it end anytime soon, right? Like, I know it has to, but I don't want it to. So while I know Billie's now are seeing her snap, so it's kind of like, what's that going to take us to? I'd like to see her snap on her opponents now. Like next week, maybe she has an enhancement match and she just fucking plows through this poor girl. And you are just kind of like, wow, this is a new Billie Starkz. And you're like piecing it together, like, oh, wow, she's taking her frustrations out on Athena. On these, like, and I'd almost like to see that happen and then see what Athena's reaction to that would be. That's what I'd like to see. Who knows what we'll get. But I do love that we don't know. And I love that I want to see more.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and I hope this is the fire, because I think Billie did need a little push, regardless of her being the TV champion and under a wing. Like, just as talent in general, needing a little push, not just storyline. And I think this is the perfect direction to go.
100%. Speaking of push, we might be getting a good push for the Outrunners. Outrunners have become very popular amongst the AEW and Ring of Honor fan base. Pop's been getting louder. I think they got their first AEW win on Collision last week. And so now we might be seeing a little more of the Outrunners here at Ring of Honor. It starts out with them getting a win against Fly Death. Outrunners, Erica Lee by their side, of course. This match is fun. This match was a showcase for the Outrunners, a chance for them to get their spots over, get the crowd involved. It was them doing what they do.
Hey, Fly Death was getting chants too in the beginning. People were chanting them a lot. I love that. I love when it's a local talent and people know who they are and they chant for them. But they were getting chants, and then Outrunners were like, no, cheer for us.
Fly Death is a team out of Booker T's wrestling school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I love that.
So keep an eye out for Fly Def. These guys definitely, I enjoyed seeing them here. I also enjoyed what happened after, where the Iron Savages go full savage because they come out here and lay the Outrunners out with an attack. And in this moment, I was so happy. And I didn't want to text you because I didn't want to jinx it. But all I was saying was, if the segment ends here, I'll be so fucking happy. If they don't have a fucking babyface tag team come out for the rescue, I'll be so happy. If you just have this heel team get some much needed heat and let it breathe. And I thought they were. The team
because it went on. It went on just long enough where they could have just ended it.
The Savages, right? They were so much taunting. I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing it. Yes, just take us to the commercial. Take us to backstage. Take us to something. And then, no, of course ROH goes full ROH. They do what they do every fucking week. They go so predictable. And we get the infantry coming out.
Wait.
Or
Don't forget to say all of it. We have the infantry come out without Trisha Dora.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't she come out? Stupid.
And also, like, and this is also like what I'm talking about, like rush things, where like the Outrunners and infantry have had a long-standing rivalry.
Right.
It never really developed.
I literally wrote that in my notes.
Us to a match. Yeah.
I literally wrote that in my notes. I put, why is infantry coming out? Why are they standing tall together? Because from what I remember, infantry and the Outrunners have had a feud over whose finisher is better and this stealing the name stuff.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, rivalry, because they really never took us to a match. We never really got a full feud, but for months, every once in a while, they would just pepper a backstage segment. They'd pepper a promo where they're just talking shit about each other. There was always that. And I guess now that they realize the Outrunners are really over and they realize that these guys are a babyface team that the crowds want to get behind, maybe now they're just kind of like, okay, let's make these guys magical friends, when they could have taken some time to once again go back to having them backstage segments where maybe all of a sudden, hey, I meant to say, that was a nice move you did last week, or nice win you got, nice shoes, nice glasses, nice steez, whatever. They could build to it. They could have had it end with the Iron Savages attacking these guys. 100%. Maybe next week the Iron Savages do the same thing to the infantry. And then after that, now these guys would have an actual reason. Other than the infantry was backstage, they were bored, and they just decided, hey, remember those guys that we said we hated for like months and months? Let's go save them and shake their hands.
Yeah, why would you save them? The infantry should come out and be like, ha ha, and laugh at them for getting beat up because they have a rivalry.
And now I'm just left wondering what random heel is going to get teamed up with the Iron Savages next week for them to end this feud in a 2-week span.
So stupid.
Because that's happening. The Outrunners and the infantry either next week or the week after will be facing the Iron Savages and insert heel. Maybe it'll be John Cruz.
Maybe, or it will be... I don't know. I can't think. I was going to say someone, and then I went blank, and I was like, no, I don't know. Yeah.
Fair enough. It still frustrates me that Ring of Honor will not take my note and just start calling the entire stable Top Flight. They have the gimmick infused into the theme. They've got the gear. They got the flight attendant. Just call them all Top Flight. Unless this is like a long-standing build to Action Andretti turning heel and just leaving them all, which like I don't really see it happening, but they have
them Top Flight.
But yeah, they just insist that the Martin brothers are Top Flight, even though the entire stable is built around them being Top Flight. I don't know. Also, I'm a little confused as to why on AEW television now, the Top Flight stable includes Lio Rush. However, at Ring of Honor television, they don't really seem to acknowledge that at all. So I'm confused about that as well. However, always fun to see Top Flight in action. We got to see them take on Vin Parker, Dante Leon, and CD Bennett. And this was a fun one.
I was laughing when Dante and Dante were having a match because he said Dante Leon, and I was like,
you mean Martin? And I was like, oh, they're the same. They're two different people.
Right.
I was like, two
No,
Dantes, and this is like Bronson, and Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed.
I mean, I was just glad they were acknowledging it because once
Yeah.
again, Dante Leon's role here is as an enhancement talent. They're not always guaranteed to get that shine of at least acknowledging, hey, they have the same name. Let's have them. And these guys got a lot of offense in. So this was a fun one.
This was a fun one. All these none of these matches were bad. That's
No.
never the problem on the show. Sometimes they're too short with the enhancement talent, but I mean, especially this is some of the best wrestling on their TV program I've seen in a while. Besides like Kyle Fletcher.
It's funny. More often than not, I don't think that the enhancement talent gets too like a lot. Like for example, and these aren't complaints, of course, but Robin Renegade and Helica Risk. And Helica Risk got a lot of time in here.
Yeah.
Both of them did. And to me, I almost thought that maybe, and it's one of those things where it's like, I can't say these things because, for example, obviously, I think one reason why Helica Risk and Robin Renegade got a significant amount of time is because they were trying to do two things. Obviously, this was a showcase for Robin Renegade,
right.
but I think that to an extent, a lot of these enhancement talent, these are their tryout matches, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
To say Angelica should have went down quicker because you want Robin Renegade to feel like a bigger star, this being like her first win that I feel like we've seen, if not ever, at least in a while. But at the same time, if this is the minutes that Angelica Risk is getting to show the Ring of Honor and AEW executives, hey, this is what I can do, this is what I bring to the table, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm like, that's not a valid complaint for me to be making. If they want to give her 9 minutes, if they want to give her 11, by all means, give them as much and pay attention because I think they both killed it. And I would love to see Risk get brought back to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I would love to see Risk. I really liked her a lot.
Yeah, and Robin Renegade, I do enjoy the things she brings to the table. Was she the one that you weren't always high on, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, that's Robin Renegade. I confused Robin Renegade with Harley Cameron, actually, but it's Robin Renegade because we were talking about her talking during matches, like taunting and stuff, and I was like, it comes off a little corny.
She still does it. She still does it.
It's a little corny.
I like it. It to me, it lets me know certain things about her character and about the attitude she brings in. I like that she talked after she, it reminds me of that Stone Cold advice that Kevin Owens is always saying, like, never stop talking, talk.
Right.
And she does it. She talks on her way to the ring. She talks in the middle of the match. She talks afterwards. If the camera's on her, she's talking. And I like that. For me, it makes her stand out, and I think it's going to benefit her in the future. Provided, of course, that she can talk, and I think she can. I also think the Righteous can talk, not that we get to hear them talk, but we did see the Righteous in action this week, and this is probably an example of what you were saying with the enhancer talent not very getting much ring time, but once again, with the Righteous, I almost feel like that's what is what has to happen.
I mean, I guess, but like the Righteous has been talking about that they're coming for I was assuming the tag titles. And then you even have commentating, even mentioning it and being like, oh, well, Vince has said this and blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so why are we having matches with enhancement talent then?
Righteous would be a very interesting team to go for the tag titles also, only because while I think they're better suited as faces, I don't really know if that's how you would classify them rather. In Ring of Honor, the way they're used with Lance Archer often, it kind of like they more often are heels, except you put them against enhancement talent that the fans don't really care about as much, so they kind of just get into the destruction. But it's like if the destruction was headed towards the way of Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, babyface tag team champions, what would happen?
Yeah, it just makes no sense.
Listen, maybe we could get dueling champs in a feud like that. So that's the one I'm crossing my fingers, hoping we get. Speaking of our tag team champions, we saw Sammy Guevara get a singles victory to, of course, the premier athletes, Arya Daivari. Now, I didn't hate this one in terms of like.
That's what I said.
Normally I just complain. Like I normally complain about the premier athletes, they shouldn't be losing like this much. This one I didn't mind because, and commentary helped this a lot, but the fact that they mentioned that. In the past, Ring of Honor will provide tag team title shots if one half of the tag team champions loses to a half of another tag team. So that to me raises the stakes for this. So it almost makes it a number one contenders match, which Daivari can lose. And Sammy Guevara, he kind of needs to be winning right now, the way they're using him, the way they're utilizing him. But this still kind of continues, it puts the premier athletes in the conversation, or at the very least shows us the effort to try and get tag team title shots. So for me, this was a plus. I enjoyed everything about this.
This was my favorite match of the night, I believe. I really like this match a lot. Also, I found it very weird Sammy didn't come out with his tag team belt. Do you not come out if you're only one person?
Did he not have the championship?
No.
Really?
I made note of it. Yeah, he didn't have the championship on. He didn't have it on his shoulder. He wasn't wearing, because I was like, oh, maybe it's on his shorts. And then I kept staring at his shorts, and I was like, his shorts? No, those are shorts. That's not a belt.
He did bring it out yesterday when he was on Dynamite.
I don't know.
That's interesting that he didn't bring it up.
Isn't he the ROH tag champion?
He is. They mentioned it. He was announced as one half the tag team champion.
Yeah, maybe he didn't have the belt, unless I'm completely wrong. But I mean, I was looking for it, and he was wearing white trunks, and those did not. He was not carrying a belt.
Maybe his child was playing with it backstage. He was crying when he tried to take it, so he was just kind of like, "All right, fine, let's leave it with them."
I hate everything about that. I hope that's not true. But this match, this match was really good. Definitely my favorite of the night. It was just the right amount of time, and it was impactful. Yeah. I love the stuff of the premier athletes like Tony Nese getting involved and them doing. I love this match.
Yeah, I was half expecting either Dustin or the Von Erichs to come out and try and play spoiler to that, but I didn't mind if they let Sammy do it on his own.
Oh yeah, I like
his high-flying abilities going out and taking them all out. But yeah, this was a fun one, and as I said, I do enjoy the fact that, because Sammy and Dustin Rhodes didn't, we haven't really seen them as a tag team. They're not really a tag team as far as I'm concerned. They're tag team champions. So we might be seeing Sammy in more singles action, or even Dustin as well in more singles action than actually tag team action. So as long as it is with a fellow tag team competitor, one half of a tag team that wants a shot, then that's really a way I'd love to see this continue, because I did enjoy the added high stakes to it. We don't get that often. Also enjoyed seeing Willie Mack return to the ring of honor.
Oh my God, I popped so hard. I was like, Willie Mack, my dude. I love Willie Mack.
It was a Mack attack. The Mack attack is back.
It was the return of the Mack. That's what you should have put as the caption here, buddy. Return of the Mack.
Excuse me. You don't want to include Exodus Prime?
Exodus Prime, first of all, great name. Second, Exodus Prime is great. Great name, great wrestler. I love it.
Hey, you can't say first of all and then stop talking. You said first of all, Exodus Prime is great.
Yeah, and then I said second, he's a great wrestler, and I love watching him. Yeah,
that's bullshit. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. You must have not heard me. I literally was talking about him. Did you cut me off and ignore me? I swear to God.
You can't say first off, Exodus Prime is awesome. Secondly, I like him a lot. He's awesome. That's the same thing.
No, I said he's a great wrestler.
That's the same fucking thing. You can't say first off he's awesome. Secondly, he's a great wrestler. He's awesome because he's a great wrestler.
I said awesome name.
Oh, all right. Well, then I take back everything I said. I apologize for my outburst. But yeah, Willie Mack coming back and taking on Exodus Prime.
Jump in it too. Willie Mack coming back. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, this was a fun one, and Willie Mack. I hope we see more of him. Like with Ring of Honor, you never really know if a comeback means that they're back. I did read that he was backstage at AEW, even though he didn't work, but like the past week or two. So hopefully, there's more things in the works for Willie Mack.
Oh, I hope so.
Fun to see him.
He's so fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you never really know if it's something where they're using someone, so they're working towards something. However, we did see the return of Preston Vance, and this did feel a bit different. It does feel more like they're doing something with him. We got a bit of a promo where he described the fact that he was handpicked by Brody Lee, and he has let Brody Lee down. He has done nothing. And so he's back to change that, and he's going to show everyone why he was handpicked. Now, I thought the fact that he started the promo and ended it with the handpick came off a bit clumsy. However, if this is kind of a part of the gimmick he's creating for himself, where he's going to call himself like, I am the handpicked, handpicked Preston Vance, something like that, of that nature, then I'm okay with it. Right now, if I had to call it, I'd say that was a bit of a clumsy finish to his promo, and we probably won't hear the handpicked line again. However, I do think the handpick line is there if he wants to come back to that and kind of make that.
It's a good, it's a good line to like work with, that he's handpicked.
He could put a hand on a t-shirt, you know what I mean? He could put hands on his trunks. There's just different ways.
I know what you mean. Yep.
Your reaction to that was perfect.
You're like, you can put hands on his trunks? Not without a drink first, buddy.
He looked a lot more comfortable than the last time we seen him.
Yeah, he seemed comfortable. I think I also think like when they do backstage like video packages or like stuff like that, I think it really like makes them more comfortable than being in front of people and trying to cut a promo. I think that is a good, good for them. And it looked like he was more comfortable in front of the camera.
And when he came out also, and like throughout the match, when he finished it, the funniest thing, and like this is also goes into the comfortability, because he didn't hesitate. Did you catch it when he did kind of the Sheamus the 10 beats?
Yeah.
And I guess he wasn't listening to the crowd as they were counting, because he thought he stops at 8, and then he thinks when he hits number 9 that it's 10, and he kind of peeps them like,
I saw that, yeah.
And he's like, what number was that? It was 9. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
like that was funny. He came back. He was like, wait, what was it? He was able to
he didn't get like,
no, didn't get frazzled, didn't do the whole thing over, gonna do it right. It was more like, wait, what was that? Oh, okay.
Yep.
And that's some of the indie-rific things that does happen in Ring of Honor, but in this case it was like a very good one. Like, I enjoy those aspects of indie shows. They don't happen often on televised matches. So that part was fun. The fact that people were chanting 10 at him because he was number 10 in the Dark Order. It seems like he's playing babyface now, so he kind of didn't know how to react to it. So as they were chanting it afterwards, he kind of like 10. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So it seemed more like he's having a bit of fun here. I hope they commit to him in the sense of put him on TV for the next month and a half. And if he's not having a match, give us a promo. If he's not having a promo, give us a match. But every week, people should be reminded about him if this is his comeback.
I forgot about him a little bit, so I'm happy that he's back, because the minute I saw that video package, I was like, I remember this guy.
I think a lot of people forgot about him. They didn't give us any reason not to. So I think now you have to now work for that, and you have to go ahead and remind people every week, because this is a new Preston Vance.
Definitely.
It's a new Thurgood Jenkins. And we're getting a new Lady Frost.
I love Lady Frost.
I love that they're committing to her. I love that they're committing to her. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. We saw her lose the Proving Ground match, but that, of course, did more for her than anything else. That was great for her. And ever since, win, enhancement talent, because they're committing to Lady Frost. We're getting promos, we're getting matches. The commentary is talking her up huge. So it certainly seems that either Athena or Red Velvet could have Lady Frost knocking on their door sometime soon.
Good. I hope so, because I love watching her wrestle. I think she's so talented, and I really think she could be a star in the women's division, and is a star and could be even more.
100% agreed. And I like that they're committing every week to her, because now she kind of can call, the way ROH has positioned it in the past. She's got a winning streak going, so she can kind of call out any champion. Granted, the Proving Ground match wasn't, too far removed, so maybe she'll probably wait. But at the same time, these are things that go a long way. If Diamante is getting in the face of Red Velvet, Lady Frost can now enter herself in that conversation if she wants to.
Right,
as well.
100%.
Speaking of entering themselves into conversations, we see Anthony Henry backstage and it almost seemed like he was trying to talk to us in secret. He was whispering to the camera, did not want his cousin to find him, letting us know that JD Drake's gonna be back soon. The workhorse will be back soon.
Yeah, I'm not sold with this.
I love it. I
know you
love
do.
it so much.
I don't.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Because you like silly things.
What's
silliness.
Not to like about this? Though?
You like
what's not to like?
I'm gonna tell you what you like. You like
what's
goofy,
not to like
silly,
about this?
It's stupid.
You're stupid.
You like silly like doofy boy stuff, and this is a silly doofy boy.
How dare you?
Yeah, this is like
I've never liked a doofy boy in a day of my life.
Like you like that he'll say like duty, and you're like, he said.
He
duty.
didn't say. All right, first
I
off,
know he didn't say
duty. I hate the word duty. In terms of ways
I
to
like how
refer
you
to
said
a
I
piece of
hate
shit,
duty, and then you said I hate the word
duty.
Duty
is easily one of my least favorite ways to discuss shit. Is duty, and to this day, one of my most hated moments on WWE television is that fucking JBL is poopy bullshit that Crime Time and Cena spray painted on JBL's limos. So don't talk to me about me liking
well,
duty.
anyway, you like duty. And I felt this was
no. Some of this humor appeals to me. For example, like when Beef comes out in the second he sees them, he's like, "Why are you always wet?" Like that to me is funny. Like that's just funny.
Okay.
I like Anthony Henry's being like, "Listen, bro, you just gotta chill. You just gotta chill."
Yeah, I like that. The minute
and
all Anthony Henry stuff is great. It's just
you just don't like Beef. You got beef with Beef.
I have such beef with Beef. Like Beef makes me want to be a vegetarian.
Jesus Christ. That's so disrespectful. Well, listen, I like it. I am 100% sports entertained by this tag team.
You're a carnival.
It's not a tag team. Also, Anthony Henry did in his conversation with JD Drake talk about the fact that JD Drake will be back in a few weeks. I don't know if he's just saying that or if that's like an announcement. But I mean, I'm excited to see what happens when JD Drake is back and what is going to happen to this dynamic. There's a reason they're doing this. There's a reason they want to add a bit of this entertainment, this family combustible element to the team of the Workhorsemen. Get a little spice up in the season over here. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Like I think it's going to be fun.
I hope he goes away.
You're a jerk. A fucking jerk.
I mean, am I? Yeah.
I like this
match.
The
Spanish announced. Shut up. I'm gonna hate you bullshit. He got the Spanish announced project and Fuego del Sol taking on Ace of Space Academy. You were saying?
No, taking on. I like this match a lot. I thought it was really fun. I like Fuego del Sol. I like that guy. I think he's really fun to watch. And I liked him teamed up, and I'm glad Angelico got his Serpentico got his mask back, and I don't have to deal with that storyline anymore. And I have to say one thing with ROH, I wasn't really sold on their commentary for a while, but their commentary I feel like their commentary has so much work to do. You know what I mean? Like, especially because it's local talent. So they're constantly having to look up local talent, making sure they know all this information about them, making sure they make them sound good, get them over in a sense, instead of like, just being like, oh, this is another jobber for lack of a better term.
In this particular match, these guys have been, not regulars. No one's a regular when it comes to down, but we have seen them plenty. So luckily, with these guys, they have experience. But you're right. Like, there's so many where they don't know them at all.
Right. So I wasn't really, that was something I was just adding on to it. But I like that when they were talking about Angelico, he was like, oh, he's a pure, he's crawling up the contender list, because he had that match and stuff. And they bring that stuff back. Right. They constantly mention stuff like that. So that's what I really like about commentating, and that they mention stuff like that, because it really,
I think they have a lot of work cut out for them, and I think they do the best they can. And I really think it shows how good they are on commentary to be able to do stuff like this. Because it's hard. It's hard to keep up when ROH isn't consistent with story.
With the pure stuff, I think it'd be better suited for them to have matches where it's like if you've got an Anthony Henry, right, and you have him facing in a singles match with somebody who's also very technical based,
right?
And then in that match, then you get to say, I think they're, you know, or even just anytime somebody would get like a submission victory or something like that. Like even in this time, wherein Helio gets the submission victory, like exactly like they did, like a perfect way to talk about, hey, and that's why he's rising up the pure ranks. So I think a lot of times if they would just have like one-on-one technical matches, and then you could be like, oh, I think this is sending a message to our pure champion Lee Moriarty,
right?
But
exactly
perfect that they were able to still mix that into this match. I love Ace of Space Academy. I love every time they get them involved, and I love that this time they let the heels get a lot of offense in, and against, let's be right, unprotected acts like Spanish Announce Project and Fuego del Sol. This is the match where, like, when Ace of Space Academy and Joe Alonso hear they've got this, they should be smiling and be like, okay, wait a minute. We're actually get to have some fun. We actually get to do some things. Colton Charles, big guy, finally gets to throw that body around, get some power spots.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoy that. I like that, things like that.
Me too. I like that stuff too.
We get AR Fox and Commander. I like this as a tag team. I hope they stick together, these guys.
Me too. I was happy to see AR Fox. I was like, yay, there he is. Yeah, I really like this match. I think this match was great too. There was a lot of really good matches this
no, there were no bad matches.
This episode. Yeah, there were no bad matches.
Show.
I know. I called it. What did I call it? I called it pay-per-view.
I'm sorry.
It goes 2 hours now, and I get tired. They spoiled me with 45 minutes to an hour and 15. Now it's 2 hours, and I'm like, oh.
This is another match where everyone got to showcase what they brought to the table.
Yes.
Like the enhancement talent got a lot of time tonight. And like a part of the bad thing from us watching is, you know, like once again, I said like in more than half the matches, you know who's winning. There's if not more, like you know exactly who's winning in almost every one of these matches tonight. So it takes a little bit out of it, pretty much until the main event, until Lio Rush and Rocky Maivia. That's when you're kind of like, okay, wait a minute, this can go either way.
This is a good match too. I had Lio beating Rocky. I thought that was gonna happen, and I'm glad it played out that way. But there were moments where I was like, oh no, is Rocky taking this? I thought this was a great match. Lio Rush is so good. He's good. He's so talented. Like it's so. I love that this is the teacher and student story. They kind of say, or mentor and mentee, and like I just love how wonderful and how complimentary they are towards each other in the ring. How much they match each other's like stamina and speed and technical work and high fly. Like everything they do, they complement each other perfectly. And I thought this was a killer match. And Lio Rush is a fucking star.
Yeah, no, Lio Rush is one of those guys where it's like if Ring of Honor, if they're going to feature him on Ring of Honor, I'd make him TV champion ASAP.
100%. He needs to have gold on him.
I'd make it like a 4-way match,
Mm-hmm.
and like have him win that match. But yeah, and I'm only saying you do it immediately because I don't see him sticking with Ring of Honor full time. Like for nobody really does. Like if you're already on AEW TV, like I kind of see him getting more into the mix on that front, and then he wouldn't be on Ring of Honor as much. But you put the TV champion on him now, give him to us here for like the next 3-4 months, and then boom, do whatever you want.
Right. This is I don't see the problem with ROH is things that frustrate me is like when you have somebody that's so good and so talented, they don't stay on the show that long, and then you don't get to enjoy them. Like Kyle Fletcher,
it's not actually. It's masquerading as a separate brand. It's not really a separate brand because they don't have separate rosters.
This is like the minor leagues, and then they call people up when they start to get over. And that's fucking frustrating because like Kyle Fletcher was the best part of ROH. I looked forward to seeing him every week. I'm not saying I don't love seeing all the other people because I love people And, you know, I love the Righteous. There's nobody really on this card that I have
And
to
it's
say
fun
that I'm
seeing
just like,
it's fun seeing Kyle Fletcher get featured in AEW Dynamite and everything like that.
But I miss him on this show because I
But
want to talk about
now
it.
he's gone. Right.
Now he's gone.
Exactly.
And he brought something to the table where he was kind of doing open challenges and he was doing this fun stuff and having like competitive matches where he wasn't just
and now it
beating
feels
up.
like there's a hole, like a giant hole missing.
Yeah. Because now again, the only title that's on the card is the women's championship and the women's TV championship. And they didn't even have matches today.
Yeah. I mean, we did get the Proving Ground match.
With who?
The TV champion.
Oh, yeah, TV champion. I forgot about that one. But yeah, that. Yo, you said TV champion. I'm thinking Red Velvet. I'm like, she didn't have a match.
No, you're right. But we got.
But that's the thing too. I forget that man has a title. That's how it is. I forget this man has a title because he's never on fucking TV. He said we have a brewer guy, so we did.
Funny thing about if Leo Rush did become TV champion, it wouldn't happen on Ring of Honor television. We would just tune in one day and he'd be champion. He would have won it on Saturday on Collision.
He would have won it on Saturday getting some ice cream from Carvel. We'd be like, what?
I really do like that. That's a problem. Like, I do want to see a Ring of Honor title change hands on Ring of Honor television.
Me too.
Give it to us one time. I want to see it on a regular ass Thursday night. I want a title change.
They chumped out Kyle Fletcher. Like, I really thought Kyle Fletcher that in that Mark Briscoe match, that one that was on TV, I thought that was going to be where Kyle Fletcher lost. Or Mark. Remember, we were like, okay, this is where a title change is happening, and then nothing happened.
Lee Johnston, 2 out of 3 falls. Yeah.
No, not that one. But yeah, that one too. But I wasn't talking about that one. I was talking about Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher.
That wasn't for a title though, and he did lose that match.
It would have been for a title if he remember. I thought it was going to be for a title, but he lost his title right before, like the day before.
No, he was still champion in that match.
I thought
you're
it was
remembering this all types of wrong.
Oh,
the match that you did think he was going to lose was against Lee Johnson in the 2 out of 3 falls match 1 week prior to that match.
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember thinking he was losing.
Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Danielle's got to go to bed. Her fucking brain is fried.
It's so fried.
Thanks, as always, for tuning in with us, guys, for another edition of Mark of Honor, talking about Ring of Honor. So that means next week we'll be right here talking about the same damn thing. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Never forget, you guys are the best. We're always trying to be like you. Do not forget, we're not just smart marks.
We're heel marks.